Do we have a specific number? Have you guys lost count now?
We totally lost count. Now it's just another episode. Is how it's been for a while.
That's fair. Okay. Hey, everyone. My name is Katelyn Lehner. Welcome to the Sit Down Podcast.
Excellent. As I'm blowing out some vape from Inspired. Hell yeah. Welcome, you guys. Thank you for tuning in again this week. As you saw up at the top, yes, we have Ms. Katelyn Lehner in Bellevue, Saskatchewan with us. Thank you so much.
Live in person, finally.
Yeah.
This is this is so much better.
Third time on, first time in person.
Yes.
I love it.
Awesome.
Man,
brand new.
I want to start the show by thanking you just for everything. Like since our little journey here began, you've been true supporter of us and you've had our back from day flippin' one. And I appreciate that. And I thank you so much. And you know, we're in your corner too.
Oh, thanks, guys. You're so sweet. Absolutely. I feel like, I don't know, you guys have just been such a champion for musicians, specifically in and around Saskatchewan. And it's been so cool to watch you guys grow over the last few years since we did our first podcast and what both of us have been up to in our respective careers. And so, happy to be a cheerleader for you guys too.
Oh, man. But it goes more than that, though. Like, you've been... I was going to say a staple of the community, but that's not the right word. But you have indirectly supported our community here of Bellevue as well. Things that we've done with like our Christmas tree lighting and everything. Like you've helped us out with like the soundtrack to that.
Just a small part. You guys are doing a lot.
So like that clearly does not go unnoticed. And I just, Bellevue freaking loves you, Katelyn.
Oh, I love Bellevue. Thanks.
Yeah.
And Moosefest, I know. We've done lots of cool stuff together.
Absolutely. We were talking before we hit record of what things can we talk about. And we can talk about, maybe you can let the audience know how your experience was performing as a headlining act at last year's Moosefest.
Yeah, totally.
She's like, oh shit.
I'm like, let me think back to that. There's been so much
It was terrible.
No, I have all the memories that come back. Man, there was my early stages of music, I was on like a call with another artist, Wes Mack, actually. He's like Canadian country artist, but he had told me something that we had it was probably 2.5 hour phone call. And the key point that he had told me, he was like, make sure to take like a mental snapshot every time you're on stage. Because he's like, this career moves fast and it's crazy and it's stressful and it's hard. But he's just like, the fact that we get to be doing what we do and be on stage performing, and he's just like, that's the best part of this. So that just really stuck with me. And every show I do, I try to take a moment on stage to just be like, wow, this is where we are. This is the situation, to really be in the moment. Yeah. So no, that was a fun one. Moosefest was my first ever official headlining festival. So
Serious?
that was.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, I've been, I guess, part of some other festivals, but that was the first headlining spot, which was very cool. And I think just a bucket list and kind of goal thing for any artist to do, especially, I know summer festivals are so much fun, and it brings a community together, and just having a full lineup of artists from all over the place. It's just a fun environment to be at. So yeah, the show was fun. Your guys' stage was so cool. That's something that I specifically remember for that. Just the stage setup was fantastic. The lighting, the production that you guys brought in, honestly was probably more than what I was expecting coming in here. When we were pulling in with the van, I was like, oh dang, look at that. So no, that was really fun. And I got to be there with, I guess all of my typical guys minus Adam. He couldn't, that was, it was so funny too, because I think it was early in the summer. He gave me one date that he couldn't be with me, and it ended up being Moosefest. And he was like, Katie, I told you one thing. And I was like, I'm so sorry, you have to go. So Elias Brevik ended up filling in. Right. And so he was he was playing bass that night and was fantastic. Was just such a
nailed it.
He did nail it, and it was just so great to have him on stage with us. And it was a fun show.
I don't know if he's in the shot, but Adam's right behind you there.
Oh yeah,
he's Adam.
Hi
Adam.
Hi Adam, we miss you. Yeah.
Yeah, Elias was on that day of Moose Fest last year. He was on stage 3 times.
Yeah, he was. I remember that. And I remember when I reached out to him, he was like, I got 2 other shows that day. And I was like, pretty please. So he was like, I can do 1 more. So yeah, he had a busy day.
Same as Colton.
Yeah,
He
Colt's
did
busy too.
No.
Did?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Colton was on stage 3 times?
3 times?
I can't keep
Re-
track of
reading
everything Colt
and
does.
review?
Maybe. Yeah, 2 at
Oh,
least.
Twice.
2.
Twice, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. That's what I love
Yeah.
about just, it shows like you guys all working together. You know,
Yeah.
you guys are all at your own stages in your careers and stuff like that, but everyone knows everybody. And
Yeah.
it's like a community thing. And I think that I'm appealed to the most about it is like, we're all friends, we're all in it together. And
Yeah.
it's that mutual support thing. I
Totally.
think that, and it comes off. It shows, right?
Yeah, it does.
I love it.
Yeah. And every time, so we, on our TV, we have our Chromecast with recent pictures. That
Okay.
keeps rotating. And
Yeah.
every once in a while, you show up.
With the little
with
ears?
Yeah. My daughter took a picture with her with the pump
The
ears.
coolest
Oh, yeah.
hat. I was like, I need to get one of those. They're so fun. I love
Freaking
that.
right.
That's so cute. Nice.
If you got that, we should drop that picture in here. And
Yeah,
show
we
that.
should. That's a cute one.
Hell yeah. There was so yeah, we did have, I mean, going into Moose Fest last year, there was a plan and an idea to like film a lot of it. And
Right.
and it didn't work again
Yeah.
this year.
I kind of forgot about that, but
Yeah, it was we
Yeah,
did
now we gotta talk about
just
it.
being honest, because I have received some questions from people like, what's going on with that? Because they saw the cameras and
Yeah,
they knew what was
yeah.
going on, and they're like, we haven't seen any footage of it. And it's like, yeah, you're probably not going to. So I think
Technical difficulties.
that's right. The first year we attempted to do that, the hard drive crashed, so we lost everything, which was like, we're like, we'll get it the following year. And then this year there was audio issues with it. So, I mean, we got some video footage, but it just, the audio's not the greatest. So we
Yeah.
were like, we weren't really comfortable releasing any of that. So I think the plan moving forward is we're just going to cut like little trailers to Moose Fest with the video footage.
totally.
So
I was going to say the video footage is like, too bad the audio didn't work, but like the video footage is probably like the more important piece of that you guys can use
yeah.
for promo and
Yeah. So I think we'll use it for that aspect, but we never even did discuss if we're going to attempt that again this year. I don't think so. Let's take a break from it.
There's a lot to go on, and like
Third
man.
time's a charm, so maybe this time
There-
it'll actually
Yeah.
work.
Well,
That's true.
next year could be the 3rd time still, you know?
you can have a breather for 1 year.
Hell yeah. And,
Yeah.
and
That's
we,
the thing though too, it's just like so much goes into, and what we're kind of just talking about, like so many people don't see the behind the scenes of what goes into a music career, planning a festival. Like there's so many things, and it's hard to like have everything go smoothly and without
Yep.
any bumps. So like it's
almost
and
have to
you
have
guys
no
are-
expectations.
Well, yeah, totally. That's
to-
kind of like the best way to go into like anything new like that. Just to be like,
Yeah.
okay, if everything works, like somehow it's whatever magic happened, and whatever can kind of take it as it comes. But yeah.
freaking
Yeah,
right.
Takes a lot of
but
work.
it's the same as a music career. A lot of people underestimate that. They're like, oh, you just go on stage and you sing and you
Yeah.
make money.
Yeah.
Not quite.
That's the dream. Yeah, it takes a lot of work to get there. So yeah.
Definitely. I'm really interested, maybe completely changing a topic here, but one thing, I think I've asked you this off camera in the past, I do want to address it on camera, is about like the way you songwrite. I'm sure we asked you this in past episodes, but
You
refresh.
probably asked it twice.
Yeah,
Maybe a little
every
bit.
time you come upon him and ask you.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really intrigued with it because everybody does it differently, and I mean, I've talked to Colin about it. Like, can you teach me how to write a song? And he actually had great words of wisdom. Was like, you already know how to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
and
cool.
and the explanation is for how much music you've listened to and taken in throughout the course of your life. Like, the structure of a song already. So now just put it on paper, right? So
Yeah.
it sounds simple, but it really it's not that simple. So I'm really curious, like, if we can get right into it, your latest release, City Cowboy. Can you give me a little backstory on that and like how that was created?
Yeah, totally. So City Cowboy, I had the title first, and I think, like any any songwriter, if you're to go through my phone, like my notes app or my voice memo, like it's just like scrolls forever. So I think, you know, just like having the ability and to just like be able to mark down an idea when it happens, when it sparks. So anyways, I have like a song title folder, and I actually, originally it was City Cowgirl. I had City Cowgirl was the first title. And so I kind of tried messing around with that for a little bit. And I kind of was looking at it from the perspective of like, okay, I grew up in Prince Albert, small city. What would you call Prince Albert? It's not a small town. Like Bellevue's a small town, but it's not a big city like Calgary's a big city, you know?
It's a small city, but big town.
It like kind of fits in the middle there. But anyway, so I grew up in Prince Albert, but then my family has a farm just outside of PA. And so my brother and I spent a lot of time growing up like on the farm. It's like 10 minutes from our door to the gate. So we're out there in like blink of an eye. So we spent a lot of time out there. And so I kind of originally I was trying to approach that song of like myself being a city cowgirl, you know, growing up in the city, but also having time like out on the farm life too. And after kind of just like messing around with an idea, nothing was really coming to mind. And then I think City Cowboy just kind of popped in my mind, and was trying to figure out where that title could take me. And then I kind of just had the idea of like the take me out of the city, cowboy. And I was like, wait, that's really cool. So I really liked that. I liked the title. I liked that kind of last line of the chorus. And then building out that song happened like pretty quickly. I write lots of my music solo. I've been doing a lot more co-writes, but lots of my like previous stuff that's out right now has been written like 100% by me. And so I think that I wrote the chorus of that first, and the chorus came like pretty quickly. It was kind of just, again, you kind of just start like spitballing ideas, you start humming, words just like trickle out, and then something is cool and you can kind of go back on it and just build from there. And so I kind of just had this chorus of this idea of, you know, wanting to be taken out of the city and show me like all this great stuff that the country can offer. And then it kind of just turned into, I think just, which is perfect for my genre of country music, it just turned into this love song and this love story between a city girl and a cowboy. But also I think that song for me is like a love song between, you know, city life and country life, and being able to experience that and being able to like showcase what that life is like to someone who hasn't experienced that, or someone who grew up and has spent all their time in a big city, and really just kind of wanting to tell people what it's like being out in the country. And, you know, when it's pitch black and you can see all the stars, and like just walking on a dirt road, like there's just something so peaceful about being out of a city. And, you know, I lived in Calgary for multiple years when I was going to university, and I still spend a lot of time in Calgary now. And like I said, I love the city. I think city life it's fun. It's booming. There's always like stuff to do, but I really do think that my heart is just like in the country, and I love just like the slowed down pace, and you know, being out on an acreage and being with animals. And so that's kind of what that song turned into for me. I just wanted to tell people what that's like. And also I think just, you know, being from Saskatchewan and having a fan base in Western Canada, I think that that's just like such a connectable story for so many people, just, you know, growing up in small towns outside of the city, wherever that may be. So it's been really cool just, you know, seeing how that story came to be from my perspective, and just how other people have been connecting with it since its release.
Been a city girl since 1995. Love the downtown streets and weekend fashion lights. Ain't terror driven F-150 or
think it's been out for what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks now?
It's been out to country radio for multiple weeks, probably like 4 or 5 weeks. But the song actually came out in October. It was the end of October that it actually was released to like streaming. But the radio release is pretty new still.
Nice. And then since the radio release, like it's been received very well, I'm presuming.
Yeah, it has been received pretty well. It's so cool, like I say, when you're able to take a song like that and share it with the rest of provinces, Canada. That song, I got some really good news last week that it was a #1 on Sirius XM's Top of the Country.
Yo!
So that was huge. That's like just such a cool thing. So yeah, thank you so much. I think again, just like, I think a #1 song on like anything is super cool. And for it to be on Sirius XM's Top of the Country is just like, that's music that is played like deal. All throughout Canada. And so yeah, that was really, I know, totally. Yeah.
Freaking rights.
Yeah. So it's been, received well. And, the Bull is playing it here in Saskatoon, and CKBI in Prince Albert's been playing it. It's being picked up by a station in Winnipeg and is getting some plays. I know like Yorkton, GX94 has always been really great to me. And so it's starting to like web out, which is really cool.
Hell yeah. I do have to give you props on this as well. I'm not sure if the listeners are aware of this, and I think this is still the case, but I'm under the impression, because I remember you telling me this, like you do it all yourself. Like your team of people isn't very big. It's like your team of people is Katelyn Lehner. That's who it is. You're the one out there. You're contacting the radio stations. You're tracking it yourself. You're writing it. You're recording it. You're doing everything yourself.
Yeah.
And I got to give you a major shout out about that. I think you're the only person or musician that I know who's doing that. And you're doing it very successfully. And my hat's off to you, man. Congrats on that, because I know what's involved with it. And I'm just like, holy shit. Like even one thing we were saying earlier, I was like, I bet you Katelyn coming all the way out here, she's probably got a trick up her sleeve. And I was like, she's probably going to bring like Adam or Simon, or somebody's going to come call in, or somebody.
I thought about it last minute. I was like, which boys can I bring out with me?
But then my next sentence was like, she's a pretty independent woman, and she'll probably just get out here by herself just fine. And here you are.
Totally.
Out the window, I was like,
she's here alone.
That's funny. Yeah.
That's, it's inspirational is what it is. I mean, you've clearly as a public figure and a performer and a musician and all that, you kind of have to be a role model for people to look up to, and you're flipping knocking it out of the park. So like, congrats. I've got so much admiration and respect for you as a result. I look up to you. It's what would Katelyn do? Like that kind of stuff. So
make a list. That's always what Katelyn does. Pros, cons, boxes to check.
But
it also goes to show that back in the 80s, if you wanted to go anywhere, you needed to go through a record label. You don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, it's so different now, and like that's like the cool thing about it is just like you like clearly you can figure it out. There's enough resources out there, and like as long like I wear a lot of hats. I do a lot. Like I say, I'm running pretty much all of this in all of my career. I'm thankful to have, like I say, like mentors that I'm able to jump on a call with and able to like run ideas by and things like that. And, but just like those people are out there, and the YouTube videos are out there, and the podcasts are out there. And like, just information is so attainable now. So like I say, it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of figuring out, and like you can read something that you research, but then you have to do some digging in to see if that's actually true or what was left out of it or something like that.
That's just it.
Yeah.
Is that actually true?
Well, absolutely. Yeah. Because we all know at this point not to believe everything you see on the internet. But yeah, I think,
so it's true.
Yeah, totally. But I think that there's just like, it's, the whole music industry is so different than it was you know, in the 80s, 90s, things like that. And it's independent artists are really just kind of starting to like take over the industry in a way.
I freaking love that.
And it's cool to be able to do. And I think that, like I say, I really love learning about the business end of it. Like I find that really fascinating. And so I like being able to understand how things work, and even looking at other artists and like other like successful artists who are signed to labels. Like I'll do such big deep dives and go down a rabbit hole of like, okay, what does their career actually look like though? And what did it look like before that label? And was there another independent label before that? And did they do things on their own? And so it's just, you know, there's so much that goes into any career. And I feel like at any point, you know, every artist starts on their own, you know, writing songs in their bedroom. And so it always kind of, I don't know, just builds a good base, I think, for a career in the future.
Yeah.
Does it ever get like, do you ever, I'm sure you do, get like days where it's almost a little too overwhelming and you're like, oh, I should just outsource
do
this
I make
out?
it look super easy and flawless all the time?
You kind of do. It's pretty polished, man.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I feel like, yeah, I mean, like the things that stress me out the most is like the business side of things and trying to figure things out. And like, I think too, just in the world of social media, it's so easy to see what every single other artist is up to and shows that they're booking. And it's like, okay, I get this number one, but somebody else got a number one here. And like, this artist is booking this and they're on this station. And so like, it's so, I feel like you really need to like have your blinders on and, you know, focus on yourself and all of these. I think that I was just having a conversation with a friend the other day, just being like, this industry moves so fast and so many people are like, you do one thing and it's immediately like, okay, what's next? What's the follow-up? Here's the radio single. What's the next single? You played this show. What's the next show? And so I think that it's so important to kind of take a moment to realize, you know, the things that you have accomplished and those boxes that you have checked off, because like I say, it goes so fast and like it's hard to kind of just take a moment and like pat yourself on the back because you're always chasing that next thing.
Absolutely.
And I think it's like running any business.
Yeah.
I run a business, you run a business. Mm-hmm. Like it's not always perfect.
No.
Yes, you're doing what you love, but not everything is, you know, it's not always.
Yeah.
What is it? Rose petals and moonshine? No. I'm trying to
butterflies and rainbows, something like that.
Skittles and
rainbows and butterflies. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that always, every time I'm talking to artists and, you know, they have questions and, you know, when I'm talking to artists and I feel or they tell me that they're overwhelmed with something, you're my go-to in trying to like give them some confidence and like boost them is like, hey man, Katelyn can do it. You know, if you're struggling with it, like hit her up and ask her how she's doing it.
Absolutely.
Like,
I mean, that's the thing too. It's like so cool that like now at this point that I can kind of start like giving back and just having conversations with like other artists that are coming up, because like I said, I've had mentors in the past that were able to jump on a phone call with me and kind of explain stuff. And so it's nice to be able to like do that too.
Freaking rights. And you not keeping it a secret. Like, I think that's huge too. That's a difference in the industry that I've noticed over like the last couple decades, right? Like back in the day, it was, you know, is it all for one and one for all? Is that the right thing?
Yeah, Three Musketeers, yep.
Yeah, like it's just like, you know, you're on your own and like screw everybody else and I'm the winner and screw everything else that you're doing.
Competitive.
Very competitive.
Yeah.
And I see that like dissipating. Like,
it just like it doesn't help either party at the end of the day, you know? It's just like everyone is in this game together, and it's just like might as be friendly and help people out along the way and celebrate everyone else's successes as much as you get your own too. And
just realize that the end result that you're creating is subjective. So
exactly.
The music you create and you help someone else that kind of in the same genre will put out something completely different. Mm-hmm. You know, I might like your music, I might not like the second artist music. So it doesn't matter. You're not competing.
Yeah, just because you do something or someone else does something, it doesn't take away from either person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Art is in the eyes of the beholder, right? You like that one?
You guys are dropping a lot of quotes here today.
I studied before. No, I'm just kidding.
This is all about YouTube shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to make me look smart.
Most popular quotes.
Yeah, my dumb ass. You said something about like festivals and festival season. So, I mean, I'm just thinking, what the hell's the date today? We're May. Yes. So what do you have cooking for this summer in regards to like festivals and shows, and how did you approach those to like get those?
We're so I'm playing in Prince Albert next week at Rock Trout, May 30th, which is gonna be fun. I'm so excited. I was supposed.
It's growing on us.
It's okay. I've never actually played a show there. I've been there.
I thought you did.
No, I
thought
haven't.
you had played
I've been there multiple times. I've seen shows and stuff.
I think you're gonna love it.
I think it'll be really cool.
Freaking right.
I've been told the stage is small though, so I was like, good thing me and all the dudes are good friends. Okay, that's good. I was like, we always laugh. We're like, we're gonna have to put Colin in like a chalk circle. I'm like, he's not gonna be able to run around.
Hell yeah!
Playing full band at the.
Yeah, we are. So there's gonna be like 5 of us on stage. So yeah,
it's possible.
Yeah, we're trying to like make some plans of how we can all like situate ourselves.
But Colin will have to hold back his hike.
Yeah, probably a little bit. Right. I get hit some shows. That's just always we laugh about it. Colin's hit me a couple times. Colt hit me with a drumstick one show.
Oh no!
But it was in when we used to play Joker and the Thief. There was like a part where like Colt would toss me a drumstick and I would grab it and I would be able to like play the cymbals. And we were doing it was a show in Lloyd. It was a PBR event, and again, just like the stage was small and it was just like there was just wildness going on. I don't know if like. Colin had like poked me with a guitar at some point at that, and I think I turned around and I like turned around too late and a drumstick was in the air and I was like, oh my god, and Colt was laughing and I was like it was all really funny. So we have like some good little band moments on stage.
You found out that you're my type, and I heard you like blue eyes. I can't help but notice all of your friends keep looking my way tonight. Got some bubbly in my cup. I've been looking for a change up in my life. Might be you tonight. We've been slowly playing this game, so I'll shoot my shot and say I'm done with being shy, and I want your lips on mine. If you're ready to cross the line, boy, I'm ready to cross the line. I won't apologize for telling
yeah, so we're going to be at PA, which will be really fun. The PA show, so the reason that the Rock Trout show is happening is because we were supposed to be in Prince Albert opening for Chad Brownlee for Spring Fling at the Art Hauser Center.
Okay.
And that show unfortunately got canceled, which was I was so bummed about it. It's like, again, and that's...
I saw the announcement.
Yeah.
It went quiet. I'm like,
yes.
is this still happening?
Yeah, so the show got canceled, and like that's just another thing of like the ups and downs of the industry. You know, you get something that's like super exciting, and sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Right.
But you know, I was just so excited for a homecoming show in Prince Albert, and had some people and old friends reaching out, excited about the show, and again, being an independent artist, I was sad about it for 2 seconds, and then I was like, okay, I have the ability to put on my own show. Like, let's just do that. So that's why the Rock Trout show is happening. I was like, I want to be able to give people who had previously bought tickets for Spring Fling like another fun night out, get dressed up, come out with your friends, listen to some good country music, and so I'm excited for that show.
Hell yeah, I think you picked a perfect venue too.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
And the owners are great people.
Yeah,
they're amazing, and
totally.
very supportive of like the music scene and the industry, and they're just doing a phenomenal job there.
Yeah.
I'm really bummed that the green room is going away though. But
Yeah, it's there. So there's a whole side. So it's a very narrow venue.
Yes,
and right beside it, it was kind of open space. Like they own that side as well, but it was like open. There was nothing really going on there. But
a clothing store.
I was gonna, yes, okay, because I remember the clothing store that was there. I have definitely bought things from that clothing store. That was my place I would go to in PA. And then Funky Fresh is right beside it now.
On the other side,
hey,
yeah.
Because they just said it was the reno was like a year and a half ago, maybe a year ago or something.
They've been renoing forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
An
But yeah,
ongoing
so
thing.
the times that we went, like that, where that clothing store was, it was just like open space.
Right.
And like that was like the quote unquote green room was on that side. So everybody would hang out there. And then when you go on stage, just kind of go through the door.
Yeah.
But now it's turning into a hair salon.
Oh,
next
okay,
door
cool.
there. So now that's that, and there's walls being put up and everything. So
Okay.
The green room has shrunk quite a bit, and then eventually they'll have to move it to the basement.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, we're trying to encourage them to move it to the basement.
okay.
I told them this is the perfect green room. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
cool.
hear that, Rock Trout?
Basement
Caitlin
green
wants to
room.
be in the
But yeah, they're great. So that'll be a good one. And what a great idea to just be able to push forward from that. And it's like, oh, well, this isn't happening, so let's do it over here instead. Type of thing.
Yeah, totally.
Exactly.
to quote Ted Lasso, you got to be a goldfish.
You gotta be a goldfish. I love Ted Lasso. That was probably one of my like favorite series in the last few years. And that line is just so great. And that's something I think of multiple times. I'm like, be a goldfish.
Yeah.
Is that what's the, because they don't have a memory, or
Well,
Yeah, 'cause their
something
memory is
shitty
so-
happens, just be a goldfish. Just
Be a goldfish.
just let it
forget
go
about
and
it. Yep.
move on type of
It
thing?
happened in the past.
Can be used
Or
in
like,
music.
Rafiki in The Lion King.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's in the past.
Right.
Can be used in music or on the golf course.
Yeah. No doubt.
So that show is May 30th, right?
May 30th. Yeah.
Excellent. I was going to say another shout out that I need to give to you is you had done something. This was, I think, a couple years ago. You had let me run your merch table at one of your shows.
Yeah.
A couple of your shows.
Yeah, I
I
was gonna
think
say, you've
I
done that
had
a
the
couple
opportunity
times.
to do that, and I freaking love doing that, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
But you showed me something that night, and you're like, I don't know, just try this, and it worked. And I tell it to everybody, and I credit you every single time. I thought this
what did I
was
say? What was it?
it's a brilliant idea. When the crowd is coming in the door to come to the show.
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah. and what you did was you took one of your posters of that specific show, and I had the fans, like the ticket holders, come in, and I had them sign the poster, which brought them to the merch table. And I was like, oh, this poster's like, Katelyn wants this on record so she can see who is all here. And, it's more for her than it is for you type of thing. And then I would start like slinging the merch from there.
Then you start
It was to
slinging
get
all those
them in.
good
We
hoodies.
talked about this the last time she was on.
Did I tell you this
you
already?
grabbed the poster and you was like,
Yeah, because I had the
Oh,
poster. I was
okay.
like, here's your guys'
Man,
names.
I still tell
One of you
people-
guys, I think Mark's was like sideways or something.
yeah.
I still tell that to the artists. So if there's any of you artists out there and you hate selling merchandise and you struggle with it, I'm telling you, it's a great tool to have in your toolkit to bring the crowd to the merch table, is have them sign the poster. And that's all Katelyn's idea. So well done, because that worked out. I've shared that with Northern Royals. I think I've told that to the Radiant and the Hour Hand, and they're like, oh shit, this actually works. And I'm like, fuck yeah,
I think it was just a
Katelyn.
happy idea. I don't think I had that plan ever to be like, haha, I'll draw the people in. But I was just like, no, I have these posters. I was like, I want to be able to have a document. And I'm just like, where else is it going to go? It'll go on the merch table. Cool.
Exactly. I think it was more, I dreamt this part, but if I remember correctly, it was just something that you wanted for that, because it was the EP release party, and you're like, I just want on record.
The first one I did for that, it was for my single release party for Red back like three years ago, 3.5 years ago.
And then
I got that one on my wall, and I have my EP one on my wall, and so they're just they're cool.
So maybe that was my little just Joelle Gaudette twist on it there, and then I was like, oh, I'll use it to draw them
Joelle's
in.
like, she's a mastermind.
But it freaking works,
but it's
man.
a fun thing to do as an artist. You know, you turn the tables on whoever walks in, because they're expecting a signature from the artist.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the one thing I dislike is, this is to all you artists out there, specifically with the merch table. If you're working your merch table and you're playing on your phone, like, no. Like, that's why the crowd is just, when the show is done, they're walking out the door and they're not even stopping there. Because if you're not showing interest in them or trying to draw them in,
Joelle's just like eyeing people down.
Hell yeah, dude.
He's like, over here.
Yeah. I'm like, come here. Selfie. Now buy this shirt. Right? But I mean, it's a sales tactic. Like, it's sales. So you're not gonna.
Yeah, but that's also part of that business aspect. Like, you run a business, so you need to sell something.
That's right.
And you need to be a salesperson.
And Northern Royals, just don't forget your merch. How about?
Oh no.
I think there's
we got a lot of things on our mind for show days. You know, it's
yeah,
gotta.
I get it.
Every once in a while.
I think there was a couple twice. I think that happened to them. They were like, shows quite far away, like hours away, and they're halfway there, and then they realized they didn't pack their merchandise for sales. It's like, because that's, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's where an artist, a performing artist, like, makes a good chunk of their revenue is because of merch sales, correct?
Yeah, definitely. Merch is just like, I don't know, it's an extra thing that, has been able to like tip me over on a couple shows from like breaking even to like making some money. Yep. And definitely.
Hell yeah.
Well, I'm going to give a shout out then.
Do it. It's your show, man.
M2S Graphics. Martin is.
He
does merchandise in Saskatoon. He's very supportive of the arts, music in general. He does things with Green Wing. So
nice.
if you need merch,
he did those Cupid's Heart T-shirts too. The run of those white ones that we had on. When
and the bunny hug and sweater that Josh and Mercy are wearing in their. Video.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, hey.
Freaking right.
There's our favorite moose.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, and that's local.
That was my plug.
Support local. Definitely. Yeah, he's great. I go to a lot of shows, and 9 times out of 10, he's at the same show as I'm at. Like, sweet. And he's right up at the front of the stage, like, because I try my best to, like, I want to be front row center so that the artist can see me and know I'm there and, like, I'm supporting. Yeah. He's right there too, man. Yeah. He's got that same mentality.
Are you talking, is that Travis's dad?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Yeah, totally. Okay, yes. I know who you're talking about. I have seen him again front row. It's like shows of mine too, and I'm like, hey, nice.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah, so supportive though. Like I say, it's just, again, that brings everything back to the community of just like everyone kind of has a piece and everything going on. And yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Okay, so which other shows are you doing?
Okay, so my June is kind of crazy. So we finished, we do the Rock Trout show on the 30th, and then on the 1st, I get to experience a first. I get to check off something on my music bucket list. We're flying out to Toronto for a show, which is gonna be so fun. So it's Canadian Music Week. I found out just like a couple weeks ago that I'm a finalist in the Jim Beam contest for Canadian Music Week. There's 5 finalists that were chosen across Canada from hundreds of submissions, and it's all genres. And I get to be one of the finalists in there.
Holy hell,
So
congratulations.
thank you. So yeah, I'm excited. So we get to fly out on the 1st. We play a show on the 2nd, and then a winner is chosen of the top 5. And then if you are the winner, you get to stay at a few extra days in Toronto and take in some events and workshops and things like that. So I'm excited. I need to figure out how to fly with instruments though, because I've heard so many horror stories. So I'm just like, we got to make sure that everything is like locked and loaded, ready to go. Plan A, B, C, D is
no doubt
ready.
and that's all you.
I know. Yeah.
organizing
See, that's a stressful thing too. I'm just like, if anything goes wrong,
Make
like
friends with an artist in Toronto that has an acoustic guitar,
totally.
just in case.
I know. Well, that's the thing too, and that's actually like one of our plan C. I think is like try to figure out some other artists that are going to be there, and just in case if we can share some stuff. So yeah.
That's flipping exciting.
Yeah.
So had you submitted your music to that, or did somebody else submit on your behalf?
Yeah, so I submitted. I submitted to showcase at Canadian Music Week, and I think that within the showcase application, the Jim Beam contest is just like an addition to that, being like, would you like to also be considered for this? And I was trying to remember if it needed anything like extra on top of the showcasing submission of music or videos or things like that, but I think it was just like my typical application. And and it's funny, you do this stuff, then you kind of just like forget about it. Like I think I had applied for this back in like December or something like that. And so yeah, when I got an email about it a couple weeks ago, I was like, oh, this is cool. What was this for? And I was like, oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I'm excited. Adam and Simon are coming out with me for that show. And then we're gonna connect with Andrew Dinah again, which is I'm so excited for. He played the last time he played with us was for the Sask Labor Day Classic halftime show, and we had a lot of fun with him. And he's in Toronto now, so I was like, perfect. I'm gonna steal you for a couple things. So he's going to be on stage with us for that show as well. Awesome. So I'm really looking forward to being on stage with him again too.
There was one thing.
Will he remember how to play slow songs though?
Well, I know, right? He's a hard hitter, and I really like that with him. So I'm just like, we have some. I was like, for some of my songs, he'll have to chill out a little bit. But I'm like, bring some extra beef to them.
One thing I like that he does is when he did it at the Roughrider thing, was he went live on Instagram during the set. So he just kind of puts his phone on behind the drum kit, and then I watched it on there. I was like, fuck yeah, dude, keep doing that. I've seen him do it. I've tuned into a couple more times where he's done that, and I enjoy that. I like those lives.
I'll tell him. I'll see if we can do it for Canadian Music.
Fuck yeah, you should. I'll be
halfway,
commenting in there. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I'll be in there in that chat.
On stage, hang on, Joel's talking.
Yeah.
I want to see a Moose t-shirt or something. Just kidding.
My toque. I love that toque.
That toque. Fuck yeah.
Might be too hot on stage, but
no, that's congratulations on that.
Thank
that's super
you.
Exciting, man.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. I know. I think that's again just like any artist kind of like again gold sheet and trajectory as like, you know, you play all these local shows in your hometown, and then you get to do like surrounding areas, and then you get to be on the road for a little bit, and then you get to cross into Alberta or wherever. And so now to like jump on a flight to go somewhere, I'm very excited about it.
And then so the next step from there is to go further south to like to the States.
Exactly.
And do all that, right?
Yeah, totally. So that's something that is on my radar too. Like I think that again, just me just being like logical thinker too through all this, I'm just like, okay, how does that work? How does that check out? How visas? I don't know. So that'll be another bridge to cross hopefully soon. But yeah, excited to go do that.
Ooh, it was yesterday. Ooh, hey, funny running into you. It's been a minute since I've seen you last. Damn, the time flies by fast. Hey, well, I heard you got married. Remember the day we were crying 'cause a high school quarterback, you never called you back. It was the end of the world till the sun came up again. Funny how we were just a bunch of kids back then. So take me back to when every sunset lasted forever. of a dirt road. We got lost talking about whatever. Hey, where did the time go? Faded Levi's and missing sunglasses, the one that got away. I've grown up a few whole years since then, but in my mind it was yesterday. Ooh, it was yesterday. Ooh, hey, girl, come over here and spill the tea. I've got a story that you won't believe, and a couple secrets that I can't keep. And hell no, we all told you he was bad news, put everyone else and their dog above you. Well, I hope you're feeling brand new. You say my name and my heart beats fast again. We called it love, 'cause that's all we knew back then. When every sunset lasted forever, and we never ran out of a dirt road. We got lost talking about whatever. Hey, where did the time go? Faded Levi's and missing sunglasses, the one that got away. I've grown up a few whole years since then, but in my mind it was yesterday. Swore we never grow up and we never grow apart, but those years, they hold a special place in my heart. When every sunset lasted forever, and we never ran out of a dirt road. We got lost talking about whatever. Hey, where did the time go? Faded Levi's and missing sunglasses, the one that got away. I've grown up a few whole years since then, but still somehow in my mind it was yesterday. Ooh, it was yesterday.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I need to
No-
get into like Mexico or Hawaii, do some like good beach shows. That sounds like the
yeah.
dream.
Would you ever go to like China?
Do it with
Yeah.
Zach Brown.
Yeah.
I
No,
know.
I would go anywhere. I mean, like I see all these artists doing, like I say, shows all over. I'm a big Virginia to Vegas fan, and he's actually just like heading over to China like right now. And so yeah, I think it's just like there's so many like showcase opportunities, and like I feel like they're kind of just like a little intimidating right off the bat, because it's like, what do you mean I'm like flying to Europe for something? I don't know.
Yeah.
And like again, I'm not a big travel person. All of my travel experience has really been because of track and field, and that's kind of what took me around North America, at least. And so yeah, this is again, I'm sure that'll be something that is new to me and scary,
Freaking
exciting
nice.
butterflies. But yeah,
Oh yeah,
I'll
I think it's
travel.
gonna be, it'll be just fine.
Yeah.
I think you'll be fine.
yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, and then Art and Garden.
Yeah, so then
Is
we
that
come
the
back
next
and we
one?
do Art in the Garden. So yeah, I get to headline that festival this year, which will be really fun. And I think that festival is just like, I think that they're doing such a good job of just the organization of it. And like, it's a newer festival here in Saskatchewan.
Is that one? I was gonna say, is that in Saskatoon?
It's-
Where is that one?
It's close to Langham.
Okay.
I think it's about like 30 minutes outside of Saskatoon.
Okay.
So like short trip for anyone local in the city to get out. But it's great. It's like, I feel like there's something for everyone at that festival. You know, they have like a kids area. I played it last year. I was an acoustic act earlier in the afternoon. So I got to experience that. My mom came out with me and she really liked it. But yeah, so they had like a kids zone, and there was like face painting, and there was like an artist that was doing like cartoon drawings.
Okay.
of people. There was puppies. I can't remember. I think it was like Saskatchewan Dog Rescue or something. It had like a little booth out there. So I was like, I will be snuggling with the puppies before my show and after my show, and maybe even in my show if I can. But yeah, so they have like lots of stuff for like the family, and then like obviously like live music throughout the whole day. And then they have a bunch of local like artisan markets and little booths that are out there as well. So I think that's really fun. That's something that, you know, me and my mom really like. She's a big crafter. And so that was really cool. I got this really nice leather bookmark last year. Yeah. Can you see the shoes?
So
I'm like,
Caitlin's mom made those.
Shout out mama.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so they have just like so many cool things out there. And so yeah, and I think it's just like, it's good for the whole family. It's one day. Tickets are $10. I'm like, what can you do for $10 anymore? Like nothing, truly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
can't even
I would
get a freaking Happy Meal at McDonald's for $10
Oh,
anymore.
it's so sad.
No, I don't know.
To McDonald's in forever. I don't know.
Yeah. So I think that if anyone is, it's June 8th, it's a Saturday. And yeah, so if you guys are free, looking for something to do, like would 100% recommend coming out for the day.
Freaking
Food trucks, beer gardens, like, yeah.
I love that.
They got it all figured out.
That's, man, we're so in your corner, and just I'm proud of you, man. Like from when we first met, and just the progression in your career from 3-4 years ago to where you are today, like hell yes. Keep it going, man. If you ever need anything from us, just you know how to get all of us, man.
I'm trying to remember what the first song was that I heard of you. It must have been Red.
Yeah.
You did a music video for that one too.
Yeah, I did. Lyric video.
Lyric video?
Lyric video music. Yeah, it was a lyric. No. It's a music video that has lyrics on it.
Was there not something with a vehicle?
Yeah, that is the, there's
Okay.
That's the red Pontiac Solstice.
I'm still betting people $10 all the time.
Yes.
It's like, hell yeah.
Whenever my friends say that, I'm like, haha, nice
Yes.
plug.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So you're always on my mind. Like I said, we
Sorry.
freaking love and respect the shit out of you. Thank you again. But before we end this and I let you go, I am going to, I don't know if the expression is throw you under the bus here a little bit, but I'm going to call you out to your face.
Okay. I'm scared. Don't do this to me.
Well, so the lake
This has been so fun so far.
the lake that my family goes to throughout the summer, I really want more live music there. So I've been in discussions with some venues up there, and we're definitely going to pursue that a little bit more. But I want to call you out and see if you would have any interest in performing at the, I'm not going to say the name of the lake because I don't need to dox myself. I'm sure I've said it before, but I'll tell you off air. But at the lake that I go to, if there's an opportunity where I could would you be interested in doing like a 30 to 45 minute acoustic set out there?
Yeah, totally. I would love that.
Yeah.
I love, just again, like the Saskatchewan lakes, like lake life is, I think, just truly loved in Saskatchewan. And I'm down for a lake day. If I get to play some music, that's a bonus.
Yeah.
So yeah, totally. Let me know.
She wanted to do beach shows, so
there you go. I got
Yeah, exactly. Mexico, Hawaii, Saskatchewan lakes. Honestly, any of the above.
It'll be like the lagoon in the back over here.
No, totally. I would love to do that.
Excellent.
we can't get you to Hawaii or Mexico, but
That's okay.
Yeah,
Not yet.
the best we can do.
There's Crooked Lake.
Maybe down the
about
road.
2 miles
Yeah.
away.
Next year's Moose Fest.
At Crooked Lake? No. No,
Ooh.
thank you.
Some beach somewhere.
Oh, do a
Maybe.
beach.
We have
that would
talked
be
about
so much fun.
taking it on tour. We've had
that's
discussions
cool.
about it. It's just we're not, because this is only what are we, 4 years in? This will be our 4th year, so we're still kind of green at it. But I mean, hopefully it'll get bigger than what it currently is. And at that, one thing we're talking about is like take Moose Fest on the road. So like, the idea would be like if we said reach out to 10 artists, like 10 bands, and be like, all right, okay, you guys pick the venue in the province that you want to highlight at, and then we just kind of take it and we hit up a specific location in each province and just do like a summer tour of Moose Fest.
Yeah.
So for example,
That's fun.
if we'd go to Winnipeg, then Northern Royals would be the headliner.
Yeah, okay.
And we would just bring a bunch of artists.
Sweet.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So we've been talking about it, but it's not free to do that.
Yeah,
neither,
totally.
Right? So
I know,
it's
that's the thing, yeah.
we can't afford to do that at this stage in the game. But in theory,
Eventually.
it'd be nice to be able to do something like
That'd
that.
be really
So
fun.
we
Get
definitely,
on a lake.
You're on
Get
that
on a
list.
beach.
Yeah, right?
I would love to. That'd be so fun.
Maybe we'll end
Yeah.
up in Mexico.
There's been so many like shows too that I see like a couple like Summerfest that happen. Like artists are like on a boat in the water, and I'm like, someone contact me for that.
Yeah,
because that sounds fun.
Up at Candle Lake, I know they do something like that.
Is that where Gator Fest is?
Yes.
That's
Okay.
the one,
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's happening. Yeah, I think it is happening this year. I just don't know the date.
Okay.
Would
How do
that
you know
be?
so much about Candle Lake?
Yeah.
Oh. Now he's quiet.
Yeah. If they stayed tuned, they picked up on that. But yeah, no, I have seen, like, we saw Ardell perform there. I've seen Monroe and Patrick play on that. It's like a pontoon boat.
Yeah,
and then
totally.
the
I think
artists will
Daryl
perform on
Anderson
there.
did that a couple years ago too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So fun.
I love that place.
Yeah.
Freaking rights. But okay, so before we let you go, would you mind just, for people who are maybe just getting to know you, can you just let the audience know where can they find your music? Where should we try and direct people to?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, at Katelyn Lehner Music, and you can find my music on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, wherever you guys listen to music. And then you can keep up to date with my upcoming shows and tour schedule on www.katelynlehner.com.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks for watching.
See you next week. Thank you, Katelyn.
Yay!
Hell yeah.
That was fun. Let's go.